Most people, when they look at the word trust and they look at the word faith, they think of them to be the same word as if they share the same definition. But that's really not true, especially if you were to break down each word's definition. Now, if we're talking from a religious ideology or if we're talking about Christianity, they're definitely two different words with two different meanings. Now, in Christianity, faith is the foundation. Faith is something that you can have without needing anything to support it. So I can have faith in mankind, but that doesn't mean I necessarily trust mankind. So faith doesn't need anything in order for you to have it or for you to express it. That's different for trust. Trust needs something to support it. Trust speaks to somebody's character. So if I trust God because he's righteous, because I know he's always going to do the best thing for me. So that's different than having faith in him. Trust takes time to build. Normally, when we come across people, we don't trust them right away. It takes us time to trust them. It takes us building a rapport with that person in order for us to trust them. So it speaks to somebody's character. I have to see them operate in a specific manner over time in order for me to trust them. So when you think of trust and you think of faith, which one do you think builds yourself spiritually? It wouldn't be faith, because faith is something that you don't really need anything to support it. I can just, one day join to be a Christian and have faith. It doesn't take any work or any type of energy. Trust does. So trust is what grows you spiritually. Trust is what something that you build with God because you spend time with him. You go through storms. God brings you out of those storms. And because he's brought you out of storm after storm after storm, you start to build trust for him. And when you build that trust, it enhances your faith. So trust builds faith. When you look at Luke 22:42, Jesus says, Lord, if it's your will, take this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. So Jesus is saying, I want you to take this from me. I don't want to go through this pain. I don't want to have to die. But I trust you with my life. So if it's in your will, if I'm supposed to do this, if I'm supposed to go through this, I trust you. I know it's for the good of me. I know it's for the good of everyone. So in that instance, Jesus was showing his ability to submit. It's not what I want for myself, but I'm submitting to you if it's your will for me. So that's an example of Jesus trusting God. When you're able to submit your life to someone, shows an example of trust, because you're not going to give your life to somebody you don't trust. Your life is the most precious thing to you. So why would I give my life to somebody I don't trust? Your ego is going to make it hard for you to give your life to somebody. So when you're able to do something like that, it shows the trust that you have in God, which in the end shows the faith that you have in him and what he can do for you and for everyone. Another example of this is Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not onto thy own understanding. So it's when we try to think of things and step outside of God is when we get ourselves in trouble, because we think we know more than him. It's the ego. The ego is a powerful thing. And you got to learn not to feed into it, not to trust it, because it'll always lead you in the wrong direction. Don't think you're smarter than God. Don't think that you have more understanding than him. This is part of the reason why God won't reveal everything to us. People want to know everything. If you knew everything, what would you need God for? Why would he ever reveal everything to you? What would you need him for if he revealed everything to you? You would know the beginning and the end. So we need to accept the fact that we're never going to know everything. And the fact that we don't know everything shouldn't be the reason why we believe or don't believe. You see, I said faith is something that you believe but can't see, but I'm talking from a three-dimensional point of view. Yes, In three-dimensional point of view, we can't see it. We can't feel it, but it exists. It's on a different plane. It's in a different dimension. So it's in a spiritual dimension. So faith is brought to you through discernment, which is a physical thing, is discernment. It's a spiritual knowing. So because I don't have all the evidence in the world that'll tell me that God is real, because of my discernment, I know that he is. And that's all I need. I don't need physical proof. I don't need him to come down and actually speak to me. I don't need for him to pop up in a dream so that now I can believe. Because even if he did that, a lot of us still wouldn't believe. I mean, you go back 2,000 years, people actually lived and walked with Jesus and they still denied him. They had him crucified. They didn't believe him. So even when God comes in body, we still don't believe him. So it's pointless. It's pointless for us to need to see in order to believe, because it's already been proven that that doesn't work. That doesn't matter. So it's all about having faith. It's all about having that discernment and knowing the true living God. And you build that faith through trust. You build that trust through spending time with God, allowing God to work in your life, allowing him to bring you through obstacles, allowing him to bless your life. Because the more that you trust him, the more faith that you build. So I need us to understand the difference between trust and faith. Because when we learn to trust God more, we increase our faith. Because the trust is what builds us spiritually. The more I trust, the more spiritually I grow in him. The more I trust him, the more I believe in him, the more faith I have in him, which allows him to choose me to work through. God will never work through somebody that doesn't believe in him. Now, he may use somebody. He can use somebody who doesn't believe in him. But I mean to be fruitful. That's what I mean to work through, to be fruitful, to produce. He won't use somebody to produce that doesn't believe in him, that doesn't trust him, that doesn't have faith in him. So we have to build our trust in order to increase our faith. And if we focus on doing that, we'll grow spiritually. You know, I'm always looking to submit to Christ. Anytime the Holy Spirit comes upon me and is telling me to do something, I'm always submitting. I'm always responding, yes. Because I have the discernment to know when it's God speaking to me. And I always want to submit anytime I feel like he's speaking to me because I trust him. I'm always looking for ways to build that trust more, to show that I have faith in him so that he'll use me. Because I really just want to be used. I want to be used by him. I want to be a vessel. I don't want to be a passive Christian who shows up to just church every Sunday, who's really not involved in the spiritual world, the spiritual battle. I want to be out winning lives. I want to be out trying to bring people closer to him. So I'm always praying that he uses me as a vessel. I'm always trying to show that I trust him, that I have faith in him. And I think we all should be operating that way because our only duty is to bring people closer to him. But I thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm going to have more on the way per usual. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.